Hi everybody, I am Abdullah and I'm going to complete our survey presentation and I'm going to present question 5 and question 6 and the conclusion. In question 5, we asked them if they did think parents were doing a good job monitoring how their teenagers spend their free time. Our expectation that the answers will be different between women and men. And as we see, the results are different and our expectations are right. Most of men answered the choice C, which is don't know, and they give us many reasons for that. For example, they said for us, it depends on the family and also if the parents are working or not. And as we see, women answer the most choice D, which is disagree. So the answers between men and women are different as our expectations. Let's move to question 6. In question 6, which is the final question in our presentation, we asked them who was more responsible for teenagers spending their free time. And we give them two choices, teenagers and their parents. Our expectation that the answers will be the same for men and women, and as we see from the results, both of men and women answered teenagers. And when we ask them why, they answered at the end of anything, the teenagers will decide. So they have the whole responsibility for them deciding. Now we will go to the conclusion. At the end of our survey, we learned a lot of things. First, to spend their free time, teenagers will depend on them with their family support, and both of them are responsible. In our survey, we have a lot of answers are different from our expectations, so that told us important things like work hard for study, be responsible for themselves, learn what is wrong, what is right, to be solid children. They should well balance between these 4 things. And finally, me and my group wanted to thank you for paying attention, and we will be happy to answer your questions.
Okay, good job. Anyone? I'm going to ask. Where did you talk with teenagers, or were these college students that you interviewed?
College students.
College students.
But we asked how was your teenagers' years? Like,
Okay.
How did you experience when they were in junior high school students or high school students? Yeah.
Were they all Americans?
Yes.
Actually, in my survey, I asked men and women, and I didn't care if they are Americans or international. I asked them in the streets, in bus stops, and in the cab, everywhere.
So did you have some people that were older than college students?
Yes. I asked the woman who had children.
Okay, because I was wondering, some of those answers look like, well, I'm a little confused, but not completely confused, because question number 3, if you can put question number 3 up, and then question 4, that's something that kind of confused me a little bit. Question number 3 says, do you think that you spend your free time well as teenagers? And most of them said yes. And now do question number 4. Do you think teens today are spending their free time properly? And most of the people say no. So like, is it like I'm spending my time freely, properly, and nobody else? Is it a judgment against others?
No, I'm going to explain.
Okay.
Actually, this question, I'm really surprised for it. But
Yeah.
when I ask them, you answer yes. And then when you talk about another teenagers, you say no.
Yeah.
Actually, everyone nowadays take a mind or thinking about teenagers that they are spend their free time worse than the past.
Okay,
So because that's the answer like that.
okay. Probably true.
Yeah, Janet, also like Nanaya was saying, they kind of had, like the first 3 questions were about the person's personal teenage experience, and then the last 3 questions were about teenagers today.
Today.
So it was kind of a comparison, but
Yeah. I would understand it if they did it with older people, you know, like me.
Sure.
But if they were still just close
Yeah,
off of
yeah.
teenage years, like, you know, that was like, that's interesting.
But you know, another point, you know, when you're younger, I'm thinking, you know, really young kids, you know, 1 year or 2 years, they think, oh, they're so big and they're so different, and I think maybe college students are still in that mind frame where, oh, I'm so big now and mature, and
Yeah.
oh,
I'm not a
down
teenager.
bad, you know, I'm thinking they might have gotten that.
And question 3 and question 4 may be some confusion for you because you know, actually nowadays most of teenagers spend their free time not probably with games, with music, with drugs. So when you ask one, he talk about another, and the most of them didn't spend their free time probably.
So they're bringing up those other topics like
Yeah.
drugs or hanging out or computer games or whatever. Can I ask one of the girls if you can? Some people or most people said that they spent their teen years well or properly or they enjoyed their teen years.
Yeah.
But a few people said no, they didn't. Did you talk to anyone that said no?
A woman who answered yes.
Uh-huh.
She said, from my experience, I was a good teenager, but her sister is not, she said. Like, her sister is 17 years old, and she likes smoking cigarette and stay over in her boyfriend's house.
Uh-huh.
So, it was different.
Okay. Do you think you spent your teen years in a good way yourself?
yes.
What kind of things did you do, or what kind of things?
I also hang out with my friends.
Mhm. Do you think it matters or makes a difference if you choose good friends versus friends that get you in trouble? Do you think that makes a difference in how you're spending your free time? If you have a good group of friends that study a lot, or if you're choosing friends that are hanging out, smoking, drinking.
No, I chose friends.
So you chose
Good
friends and
yeah.
thanks.
Okay.
Did you enjoy this survey?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you
We learn a lot about teenagers.
what?
We learn a lot about teenagers.
Teenagers.
How they spend their free time.
Do you think that it's similar to people from your country?
Actually, teens in our countries are, most of them spend their free time probably, you know, because our society support them, like there are no crimes like here, not a lot of people, low population, so when you focus in few numbers, not like if you focus in a lot.
Sure. Okay, thanks.
Good job, guys.